Help you help yourself hotline, how may I help you?
Hey DJ, it's me.
Oh, hey, alright, where were we?
You said we were talking about Ranma Saotome's strengths and weaknesses.
Oh yeah, here goes. We start out with Ranma's special moves.
The Kachu Tenshin Amiguriken, or chestnuts roasting on an open fire technique. Do not laugh at the silly nomenclature. It is one of Ranma's most useful signature attacks. Taught to he by the 300-plus-year-old Chinese Zen master Cologne, the Amiguriken is all about speed and pinpoint precision. In mere seconds, Ranma can land hundreds of blows all over his opponent's body to the point where his fists are a transparent blur. But do not think this a barrage of blind strikes. Ranma is thinking all the while, expertly placing every blow to a vulnerable spot, and with combined knowledge of the human body's pressure points, it is an even more fearsome maneuver. But that's not all. Not only can he use it to deftly chisel at an opponent's armored shell, but he can use it defensively to parry incoming attacks. Of all the attacks in the Ranma 1/2 universe, none match the Kachu Tenshin Amiguriken in utility. The Hiryu Shotenha, or Flying Dragon Heavenly Ascension Wave, is a powerful and flashy finishing move that requires incredible strength, not of body, but of mind. As Ranma faces his opponent, be he on offense or defense, like taking the lead in a tango, he leads the opponent in a very specific pattern, the pattern of a spiral. Round and round they go, fighting, dodging, parrying. One misstep and the cycle is ruined. Ultimately, this is an attack of combustible elements. The key to making this attack work is to keep one's calm, to keep the heart rate nice and low. This creates a natural cool in the heart and soul. As one can clearly guess, to do this in the heat of battle is something only the most accomplished martial artist can pull off. Meanwhile, the opponent is on the attack building a specific kinetic energy called Battle Aura, a controlled inner rage that builds a natural heat. As Ranma and his opponent dance through the spiral, the heat and the cold continue to build, and when done properly, when both variables reach their apex, both pugilists should be square in the center of the spiral. This causes a chain reaction, an explosion of heart and soul, a very powerful energy which Ranma can expel upward from his body with a fierce uppercut. The energy can take many forms, resembling a cyclone or a blue ray of light. When done perfectly, the energy takes the form of a rising dragon, decimating the opponent, sending him skyward and torching everything it touches. A heavenly blast so hot, and yet so cold. The Hiryu Shotenha is by definition a final attack, as it saps Ranma of all energy after its use, and is often used as a last resort. The Catfist is not so much a move as it is an exceptionally rare style of martial arts. This is an art forgotten to the annals of time. Henceforth, Ranma's adversaries find it nigh impossible to prepare for. The style can only be performed by those of us who suffer from ailurophobia, or the fear of cats. Ranma was not born with this fear, but Genma craved this power for his son, so he put the fear within him by repeatedly wrapping his body in meat and lowering him into a pit of starving cats. It wasn't before long where the mere sight of a cat would send Ranma into a crying, screaming fit. To unlock the Catfist, the heart-palpitating, gut-wrenching terror must get to the point where Ranma simply snaps! And the only way to cope is to become one with the feline devil itself. Ranma adapts the traits of a cat, meowing, hissing, purring, and of course, fighting. Before his opponent, he becomes a scratching, clawing whirlwind, unpredictable and lethal. Like a wood chipper, he slashes through any obstacle in his path with an unrelenting 1-2-1-2 punch. Cat Fu fighting style and Catfist, due to the fact they are more a psychosis and less a martial art, is considered too dangerous to be practiced, and in the vast realm of anything goes martial arts, it is one of the few disciplines to have been banned. Traumatic, yes, but the Catfist gives Ranma a definite edge over all those who would oppose him.
Why are you crying? I wish my father cared enough to throw me into a pit of starving cats.
Moving right along.
The Moko Takabisha, or Pride of the Fierce Tiger, is a move Ranma was forced to learn in attempts to counter a move perfected by his arch-rival Ryoga Hibiki, namely, the Shishi Hokodan. The Shishi Hokodan was popularized in the mining profession to clear out areas of rock and was deemed too dangerous to be used as anything but a tool for such, but Ryoga was willing to pull out all the stops to defeat Ranma and adapted the move into his repertoire. Ranma found the only way to counter this move was to learn the move himself, but in battle he would find himself repeatedly getting housed. Through no manner of practice would his Shishi Hokodan be more powerful than Ryoga's, for the Shishi Hokodan was fueled on pain and misery. Essentially, the move is an expulsion of an extremely negative ki. The more miserable the person, the more powerful the fireball, and you couldn't find a more miserable SOB than Ryoga Hibiki. The only way to face this maneuver was to learn its opposite. The Moko Takabisha is the external firing of a strong positive ki energy, a move fueled by pride, and Ranma is full of pride. Sometimes stubborn pride, but pride nonetheless. In true condescending, braggadocious fashion, Ranma stands tall, his hands at his hips and a cocky smile. His pride wells up into a pulsating ki. And with much concentration, he is able to eject this energy, a blinding white comet aimed squarely at his enemy. But can this burning conflagration, imbued with the power of Ranma's stubbornness, match the strength of Ryoga's sorrow? Ranma and Akane have been forced to live together. Ranma and Akane have been forced to train together. Although polar opposites in terms of fighting style, this reluctant pair was able to tinker together an unorthodox tandem maneuver to be used solely as a desperation tactic. The dual jet stream Raging Waters attack starts with both Ranma and Akane back-to-back with arms interlocked. Ranma kicks forward to the degree where momentum takes him up and over Akane. Akane guides him in a perfect arc, using his momentum to carry her up and over and perform the same move. Essentially, it is a non-stop spinning trade of kinetic energy, a windmill of kicking death in which both partners are effectively protected. Its one major flaw? Ranma and Akane have to cooperate to pull it off, and that is a battle within a battle. Part of the anything goes style is to apply craftiness to fight other styles, to stand a chance against those with clear advantages. A good 99% of those who have mastered martial arts dining are gifted with what can only be referred to as ninja lips. And since their fighting style is essentially a glorified speed-eating competition, they have a nice, cushy, unfair handicap over that tiny 1%. To effectively compete their style, Ranma learned the tricky-dicky maneuver, the Parler du Foie Gras. A variation of the Kachu Tenshin Amiguriken, Ranma's fists move so quick they radiate pops of light, and this is key, for he doesn't want the referee to see what he's doing. With vehement speed mixed with precision, Ranma shovels food from off his plate and force feeds it to his opponent. This not only gives the illusion he is clearing plate after plate of food, but it puts the opponent on the defensive. Naturally, there are a few challenges in the implementation of the parlay, but with it, nothing is impossible. Not if you're as quick-thinking and wily as Ranma Saotome. It is better to die as a hero than to live as a coward. Bull crap. Whoever said that must have been soft in the head, at least in the book of one Mr. Ranma Saotome. The only signature move, though I use the term loosely, to have been passed on to him by Genma, the Saotome School of Anything Goes martial arts final attack, is quite simple. If one starts to find himself overwhelmed by a superior opponent, there is no shame in running away screaming. A dreaded move founded on 3 principles: speed, strategy, and separation.
In other words, run away until you can think of something better to do?
Ranma prides himself at being the best in everything! He is the best on offense, he is the best on defense, and in the unlikely event he'll resort to terrified running and screaming, hell, he'll be the best damn terrified runner and screamer the world has ever known.
He who fights and runs away,
Just shut up and run!